belongs into a museum.
Yeah.
There's some suspense.
Dude!
Oh my god.
Dude!
Oh my god! Organs. It's real.
It is.
Dude!
They went looking for history. They found horror, bodies wrapped in carpet, people living in the ruins, rooms that should be empty but aren't, discoveries that change everything, things that were never meant to be found. Tonight, we look at 15 times urban explorers accidentally discovered terrifying things. Real footage of explorers who stumbled upon secrets that some places were trying to hide. In 2020, 2 urban explorers entered the basement of an abandoned hospital in East St. Louis, Illinois that had been shut down since 2011 due to millions of dollars in annual losses. The hospital originally opened in 1890 and went through multiple name changes over the decades before finally closing its doors for good. The explorers were hoping to find the morgue, but what they actually discovered down there was something neither of them were prepared for.
And outside that, these lights are bright, but it says, to St. Joseph's Hospital, Dan colon needs to fix cut on Tuesday. Dr. Howers already grossly described it.
Alright guys, that's a little preview of what's coming up in this video. It's a long video. It's meant to give you the full experience of exploring the basement of an abandoned hospital.
The basement was massive and maze-like with endless corridors, biohazard signs on almost every door, chemical storage warnings, flooded hallways, and an elevator shaft completely filled with water. They kept getting turned around because the place just never ended.
See all the water? This place is humid. You can see all the water on the glass and dripping from everything. And I keep hearing noises out in front of me. This place is weird. It's almost like it's haunted or something. Whoa. This area's kind of wet, dude. Caution, contains ethylene oxide, cancer, and reproductive hazard. TriStar.
The deeper they went, the worse the conditions got. Water was dripping from every surface, the humidity was fogging up their cameras, and the air quality was bad enough that they were grateful to be wearing respirators.
Holy cow, dude. Be careful down here. Here's a giant biohazard container. Here's a giant biohazard. Full of syringes, dude. It's a sharps container. This place is nuts. This looks like part of something for heating, like an autoclave or...
They found giant biohazard containers, chemical storage closets with poison warnings, and signs referencing everything from cancer-causing agents to blood-borne pathogens, and they started to realize this basement was not a place anyone should be walking through.
Did you say this is part of the kitchen?
No, it started to be something else. Look at all the caution and poison signs. Attention employees, please close doors very carefully. If doors are closed, it will cause elevators to stop and jam. I think these are for like hazardous, dirty, like surgical and bloody rags and stuff. No eating or drinking in this area. No eating or drinking. Dude, you wouldn't catch me eating or drinking down here.
I think this is the way out.
Out of where?
Out of town.
Kept danger chemical storage on that door.
Then they finally found what they had been looking for. A sign on the wall confirmed they had reached the morgue, and a posted notice on the door described exactly what was supposed to happen to the bodies brought down there.
Just, this whole place is a frickin' biohazard. Hey, it's the morgue. Any bodies brought to the morgue that have been found for 24 hours after or show signs of bloating are to be placed in body bags due to risk of bloodborne pathogen exposures during transport into the building and in the morgue per infection prevention department. Thank you for being conscious of everyone's safety. Look, dude, here's the thing where they're...
Oh, look. There's the, where they have the body tray.
Yeah, man. I told you, you wanted to go up. I was like, no, sir. Not till I find that morgue. This is the first time we've found and identified the dang morgue in a hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
They found the trays where bodies had been stored and a chalkboard on the wall with a list of words written on it that made both of them stop and stare.
Here's microbiology, dude. Let's go back. Kidney, lung, spleen, brain, liver. You see that?
Yeah.
That's not a good chalkboard, dude. Hey. Oh, that's an eraser, man. I thought there was chalk in there. I was going to put our names on it. Oh, well. That's pretty cool. Hey, guess what this is? I think this would have been the county coroner's office. So this would have probably been the county coroner's office. Not much in here, but the emblem on the door was cool.
Then they found a sealed container that had been sitting in the unrefrigerated basement since the hospital closed over a decade ago. They had no idea what was inside, and when they finally opened it, the reaction from both of them tells you everything you need to know.
It says 504912.
Is it heavy?
It's got some weight in it. If this has been here for a long time, it's been unrefrigerated, and since 2010, here, back my camera up a little, so we get an overall view. Dude, I need 2 gloves, man. We have no clue what is in this. It's in suspense.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Oh my God, it's organs. It's real.
It is.
Dude. Oh my God.
Dude.
Oh, is that a kid? This is a real kidney.
It is.
Dude, we found a real human kidney in a hospital. Dude.
Let me,
Dude. Oh my God, it's 10 years old.
I want to stay up.
Dude. Man, oh man, dude. It's a rotten human kidney. Put it back down, man. Do you got this on your camera?
No.
Why are you not filming?
What was inside that container had been decomposing for over 10 years with no refrigeration, and it wasn't the only one down there.
Why are you not filming?
Is my GoPro's on?
Oh man. Dude.
Yeah, let me,
Dude. Hey.
Here, before.
No, you hold it. I can't, man. I got this nasty stuff. Okay, ready? I'm gonna take a photograph. Get it to where...
Dude. That's nasty.
Alright, back it up, man. Alright. Here. I'm gonna let you look at it. Dude, there's more organs, dude.
They started finding more containers scattered across the floor, some of them knocked over and spilled across the hallway, and that's when they realized something about the water they had been walking through the entire time that made one of them nearly throw up on the spot.
Oh. Dude, it's human tissues, man. What the heck is going on? Dude, why did this hospital just leave people's organs laying in the building? Dude, it looks like a bucket for like fishing bait worms. Dude, these are real freaking organs, man. Hey, don't kick them at me, bud. Please. I see. I don't want to tear my glove, though, man. Here, help me. Dude, this whole floor is soaked with organs, man.
The whole floor of the morgue was soaked in something that had been leaking out of those containers for over a decade, and they had been stepping through it without knowing.
Dude,
Is that a kitten?
I don't know, man. It's freaking gross, dude. Dude, I'm freaking really grossed out, man.
I'm about to throw up. The first one.
Yeah, but this one... Dude.
I think it's in here.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, we're back on this side of the hospital, so you're right. See? I can't see anything, man.
They got out as fast as they could, but the questions this raised are still unanswered. The hospital had been looted of every piece of metal and anything of value, but what was in those containers was left behind, and someone had scattered them down the hallway, and nobody knows who or why. In 2026, urban explorer Urbex Hill went into several abandoned houses in East Cleveland, Ohio, and what he found inside them got progressively worse with each building he entered. The first was the historic DeBow House, built in 1904, which operated as a tourist home in the mid-1900s and later became a daycare and preschool until the year 2000 before being abandoned and handed over to the city. The house was completely destroyed inside, but the real concern started when he noticed bones scattered across the floor in multiple rooms and had no immediate explanation for what they came from. He kept exploring and found a bed that looked strangely fresh compared to everything else in the house, like someone had been sleeping in it recently, which meant whoever was using it could come back at any time.
So wig. Look how fresh this bed looks. That's kind of strange. I can't open the door. It's a bed, somebody probably sleeps.
Then the smell hit him. Something deep in the house was giving off a stench that got worse with every room, and when he finally found the source, his reaction tells you everything before the camera even shows it.
Oh my God. Look at that. Oh, oh it reeks. Oh my God. That scared out of me. Oh, it's a dog. That is unbelievable. That's why it smelled so bad.
The bones scattered throughout the house suddenly made a lot more sense after that discovery, and he got out of there as fast as he could.
I bet those are dog bones. There's a whole nother floor. I'll make it quick. Reluctantly exploring this place. Because this is nasty. I would explore the basement, but It's a big ass spider right there. And something's down there. Probably a dog. I'll get the fuck out. Dead.
The second house he entered was even worse in a different way. The moment he stepped inside, he could smell something burning that he immediately recognized. And there were obvious signs that people were actively using this place for things nobody wants to walk in on.
Oh my god. Someone's smoking. I can smell it. This is like an abandoned house.
He made his way upstairs not knowing if someone was still inside, and every room he checked was covered in filth with evidence that people had been living and doing things in there that turned his stomach.
This is table, obviously. Like kids and use this place. This is awful. Oh my god. It's crazy to think that people stay in here. Like homeless people, I mean.
The last house had children's toys scattered among the wreckage, and the floors were caving in so badly he couldn't even cross some of the rooms. He said the saddest part was that this place probably hadn't even been abandoned that long, maybe just a couple of years, and kids had once lived there.
It's really sad when you see kids' toys. It's like you just know kids used to live here. And now, look at this place. And I bet it hasn't even been abandoned that long. Probably just a couple years. That's the sad part about this.
3 abandoned houses in one neighborhood, each one hiding something worse than the last, and all of them sitting wide open in a city where nobody is coming to tear them down. In 2022, Urbex Hill went back to explore a building he had been to before, a place he called the back rooms. The first time he visited, something happened that made him physically sick, and this time, he came back with an infrared camera, hoping to catch whatever was inside.
I'm back. And this is probably a very bad idea. I got my IR camera set up downstairs, just like last time. I'm just gonna follow the same path as last time. Oh man. Wish me luck. This is where they dump all the garbage. noise in this room.
The basement was filled with garbage, satanic symbols drawn on the walls, and tunnels that had been mysteriously blocked off with dirt for reasons nobody could explain. The temperature inside certain rooms dropped so drastically that you could see his breath on camera, but the moment he stepped back into the hallway, it was gone.
I mean, you got like this on the wall. Like, if that's not creepy enough, then the building's haunted with a satanic star. I really, really want to know what this was used for. You know, how did all these rocks get down here? Man, that is creepy looking. Oh, look at that big ass centipede.
Sounds throughout the building, shuffling feet, what sounded like voices echoing through the corridors, and at one point something that sounded like a gunshot, then like a gunshot. Then something happened on the upper floor that made his heart stop.
Damn. You hear that? That sounds like a shot. What the hell is that? Something's up there. That scared the shit out of me. I do have my gun just in case. It might have been an animal.
He tried to tell himself it was just an animal, but after what happened during his last visit, he wasn't convinced. He had his gun on him just in case, and the fact that he felt the need to mention that tells you everything about how this building made him feel.
Yo, that scared the out of me. And I would chalk it up to an animal, but not after what happened last time. I don't know. There's the grate. This big ass box just fell on this grate. Maybe it fell from up there. Oh my God, my heart's racing. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put the IR camera.
Then later, while he was exploring another section of the building, something happened that he couldn't explain at all.
Those gotta be raccoons. I can hear them up there.
Whatever is inside that building, he's been there twice now, and both times something made it very clear he wasn't welcome. In 2025, urban explorer Bearded Reality finally got inside a morgue hidden in the forest that he had been trying to access for years. On his first attempt years earlier, the entire place was sealed shut, but when he came back this time, someone had ripped open part of the fencing that had been put up to keep people out. The morgue was tucked behind an admin building that had been boarded up and surrounded by new security measures. But none of it was enough to keep them out this time. They squeezed through the gap and stepped inside a place that had been sitting untouched for roughly 2 decades.
Wow. Broken down the tree. Next level. Oh. Oh, could I? Well, I can see it. I can see somewhere somebody's ripped it off. There, do you see it?
Get some pictures out, can't we? Hey, still got
I think. Could I do that? How fat am I? Oh.
still got pictures out.
So we're inside. Years in the making. Jeez. I do love a good slab, me. This one doesn't have the rivets, though.
The first thing they found was the slab, a metal table with a drain and a plug hole where the blood from bodies would flow out and travel down into a drainage system below. They followed the path the blood would take and traced it all the way down to where it collected underneath, and the residue of what had drained through that system over the years was still visible.
Yeah. This one doesn't have the rivets, though. So, do you know when they're like, so we have a body, yeah? So your body's going to drain and pull blood, and what they'll tend, some of them older ones have the rivets, the blood can spin down.
Where would the blood go now?
Just down this plug hole here. Whereas some of them, different ones, so the older ones, will just have rivets going down so the blood can drain from the body.
Okay.
So, yeah. And there's the drain there, so it's nothing super fancy. It's actually quite morbid, but you see there's the plug in the drain and then it'd go. And the blood would drain over here.
That body blood.
Yeah.
Not high.
All the way down here and down there, so that's where your blood would be. So there'll probably be like all remnants of blood just going down there. Creepy, isn't it? I love it.
Then they opened the body fridges. The compartments where corpses were stored before burial still had pillows inside, and the drain lines running through each one were stained with decades worth of what had leaked from the bodies that were kept in there.
Is that where people's heads have been on?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, like you said, you slam them in. See, do you see the balance on it? So you have to hold, and you pull out, look at your guy. So, I mean, I think it's the other way around, is it? So the pillows would be on the opposite. So this is for a picture. Somebody's done that for a picture.
What's this, a coffin here?
Not a coffin. It's just big tools, isn't it? But yeah, so what you do, you'd have the pillow on the other side and you come out and you see feet, don't you?
Oh, so the feet are this end?
No, actually, maybe not. Am I thinking American? It wouldn't.
Dad had
Wait.
been on that pillow.
Well, yeah, but I was just thinking, actually, it doesn't have balance, does it? Or is that one broken? No, look, it doesn't have balance.
I don't really want to touch it.
No, but it doesn't have balance. So that means the head would be here. Do you see the drain thing, though? The drain line. So that's all blood
Oh my God.
body stuff.
This is weird. They were reaching off the board. Anyway.
Ugh, that's awful. Yeah. That's a bit mank, that. Yeah, shower to wash yourself with afterwards, but touching bodies all day.
What is that one for?
Yeah. Well, the bodies are not going to wash themselves, are they? Yeah, look, you've got your clinical waste bags.
Deeper inside, they found clinical waste bags marked for incineration, a newspaper dated 2005, which appeared to be the last sign of activity, and a small room set up with chairs facing a curtained window that looked into the embalming area, a waiting room where families would sit while their loved ones were being processed on the other side of the glass.
Oh my God, there's a chair.
Oh, wait, look.
There's a chair in here.
Yeah. You'd pray, wouldn't you? What's that then? Unless it's just like a table. Yeah, creepy, man. Well, think about it. Like, you come, some people, they'd be dropping off the bodies and stuff like that, and they'd be coming to pray. So this is quite old.
I don't think I'd want to sit in here with my dad's relative next door on the slab.
I don't think this isn't a church. You're just thinking that they'd have had that. This is a waiting room.
For who?
To find details out. The morgue, you'd have your chairs lined up. So somebody'd come, you talk to your mortician, arrange funeral stuff, I suppose. Because it was work different then. I don't think they had like proper funeral. Like your mortician is your mortician, isn't he? Would he sort it out?
How long ago has this been closed then?
I don't know. It's probably like 15, 20 years now, isn't it? But yeah, whoever set that out is actually it's pretty creepy.
Yeah, no shit.
It's pretty creepy. Good though.
There was a chair, a little. Oh God.
Yeah, you have your mortician and you'd work and you'd close it off, look, wouldn't you?
They looked inside every body fridge and found one of them still had a green bag inside it, and the staining at the bottom of the compartments told a story about the thousands of bodies that had passed through this building before it was abandoned and left to rot in the middle of a forest.
Body fridges, they are freaky. Imagine, this is where you're going to end up, guys. One day, you're going to end up in one of these, where they wait to bury you, filled with flies. Awful, innit? Absolutely awful. Why has that one got a green bag on it? Yeah, so, I mean, that's got to be like, what? Decades of blood and wee? Decades, and just, yeah, I don't even know. Like, all the things. Yeah. Mad.
The mortician's reception area still had an old phone on the desk and a sliding window with a curtain that could be closed so that families wouldn't have to see what was happening on the other side.
Just want to make sure we've not missed it. I missed this though, the old phone. Man, that's old. Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm gonna check in a body. Oh, again, yeah. So, Mr. Mortician will be working. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Look at that.
What is it?
Well, it's the old curtain. So, like you say, Mr. Mortician, or he would have had a receptionist, but probably an optician. It's not a church. It's not a church.
Well, I like to call it a church.
But yeah, but look at the way that they blind it off. Look.
So this is where you sit.
That's cool.
When your relatives get embalmed, you sit and you wait.
Well, you maybe to find out details or something.
In here.
And look, yeah. So when Mr. Mortician was working, he'd lock it up. You see? Yeah.
I don't know what's worse, that table or this little room.
Well, I mean, like, look at that. So you'd come in.
Oh my God, you locked us in.
You'd come in, look, and you wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell what's going on there. That's the point. You don't want to see. But yeah.
2 decades of sitting empty, and the drains, the slabs, and the fridges still carry the evidence of every single person who was laid on them. In 2021, an urban explorer entered an abandoned hospital in a small town that had been closed since around 2013. The town was so small and remote that when the hospital shut down, nobody came to clean it out, and everything was left exactly where it was the day the last person walked out. The first thing he noticed was blood on the walls and doors of the entrance rooms. He tried to tell himself it was probably fake, maybe from a Halloween attraction the hospital had tried to run to raise money before it closed, but the deeper he went, the harder that became to believe.
Surgical lights and the decay happening on the ceiling is pretty interesting too. Everything is still left behind here and everything is still set up as well. A lot more blood on the walls. Let's look at this. This room has a bunch of pictures of open surgeries. Wow, it's like that's a picture of them cutting open skin. Oh, that's gross. Okay guys, so for today's exploration, we're gonna be exploring this fresh abandoned mint hospital with everything left behind. It's not too moldy, so I don't think I need this mask. I'm gonna wear it anyways. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, but just starting off in this room, you can see that there's a lot of blood. Fake blood, hopefully, on the door. And ooh, look at this, guys. A surgical bed with the weird thing on it, let's just say that. That's a weird mask. And of course, a lot more blood on the walls. There's blood on all the walls in this room. So it's pretty weird. And there's more mannequins over here on the floor. What could have been a possibility was that this was a Halloween attraction to try to gain money from the hospital, for the hospital, but it didn't end up working out. And over here we have a nice pair of crutches leaning up on the wall, which is pretty nice. And then a bit broken glass and some tools and bags and stuff. So I don't really expect all the rooms to have something, but there definitely are gonna be a big handful of rooms that do have stuff inside of them. So that looks like it goes to the first floor. We'll go check that out after. But for now, let's check out the second floor. And this looks like it would have been a lobby. Of course, a lot of blood on the walls, some writing, can't really make out what it says. But this would have been the main lobby. Someone would have sat here, told you where to go.
Surgical beds were still set up in the rooms, mannequins were lying on the floor, and biohazard bags were sitting right where they had been left years earlier.
Oh, guys, check out this room though. This room right here looks very mint right here. Take a look at this, guys. Everything is still left behind here and everything is still set up as well. There's a nice surgical bed right here, a bunch of crutches leaning up on it. And there's a poster of the human body on it as well. There's one on the walls as well. It looks like an interactive or like a 3D poster too. There's stuff coming out of it. That's pretty interesting. And of course, a nice sink to wash your hands. And down here, guys, take a look. It's a biohazard bag. Ooh, that's pretty spooky. There's a few bottles, empty bottles of that one is gel. But this room definitely is pretty mint. I'm liking this room a lot.
Then he found one of the operating rooms, and this is where the explorer shifted from interesting to unsettling. The surgical lights were still intact, hanging from the ceiling, which he said is extremely rare because hospitals almost always sell those off before abandoning a building since they're worth serious money.
This looks like an operating room, so that's pretty interesting. There's a nice sink over here with some soap for the doctors to get ready to do the operation. But check this out, guys, right here. This is a good room here, guys. Wow, look at those surgical lights. And the decay happening on the ceiling is pretty interesting too. It's not bad. But in hospitals, it's really, really rare to find surgical lights like intact because they are worth quite a bit of money. So usually what the cities do is they just sell them. And here's the bed. Then right over here, this is where all the, maybe some of the equipment and that stuff would be. There's a B word lives on sticker, so that's pretty nice, but this is where all the equipment and maybe some medicine would be for the doctors to do their operation. But the pin peel is pretty nice too, it gives a nice sound.
He found an endoscopy suite with cabinets still full of syringes and needles, a small room that he thought might have been used to store bodies, and an office with a calendar frozen on December 2013, the exact month the hospital went dark.
Oh, wow, look at this, guys. Just a random, this is the endoscopy suite. There probably would have been a nice bed over here, and then the surgical lady over here, but this is definitely really, really cool. Wow. There's a bunch of cabinets for storage. There's some needles, syringes, would have been in there. It's pretty cool. A nice old looking clock over there as well. Then a really small room, maybe a refrigeration room, or maybe even bodies would have been stored here. I'm not completely sure. Leaving that section, there's this nice hallway over here. Not sure what exactly would be here, but ooh, look, an office. Check this out. Everything is still left here. Wow. Administrative director computer room. This is pretty nice. It's a nice desk. Bunch of papers still on here. Filter bags. Even a Christmas hat. This calendar's from December 2013.
Then things started getting strange. He found body parts scattered through the lower section of the hospital. First a foot, then a leg, then an arm, all just sitting in the hallways and rooms like someone had left them there on purpose.
What's that thing? Oh, it's a toe. That's a foot. What the heck? Yo, that's weird. And I'm not completely sure what this section would be, just because the hallways are pretty narrow. But right here, it looks like this would have been a nice office. And those were the front doors right there. This would have been the office. There's a bunch of equipment on this desk right here, a bunch of phones. A bunch of decorations. Let's take a quick walkthrough of this first floor. See if we're missing anything. Looks like some kitchen supplies. Huh. Oh yeah. That's a PET scan. Then there's a bunch of doctors' names. Dr. Dana, Dr. Palmer. And a bottle of gel with stuff still inside. Animal blood forms. That's pretty interesting. Then through here, not sure what would be through here, but it's just a small room. I think this might lead to the houses on the property. But whoa, what the heck is this? It's a leg. Yo. That's pretty interesting. Huh. That's weird. I'm not too creeped out here though. It is kind of dark, kind of sketchy, but it's not giving off a really haunt. Oh, look, it's another body part. It's an arm.
He almost turned back before finding the last room, and he said afterwards he was glad he didn't, because what was inside was the most disturbing thing in the entire building. Pictures of open surgeries pinned to the walls showing skin being cut open, syringes and equipment still laid out, and even more body parts scattered across the floor.
Look at this. This room has a bunch of pictures of open surgeries. Wow. It's like that's a picture of them cutting open skin. Oh, that's gross. There's pictures all over. And there's syringes and everything's still left here. One last really nice room before we leave. I didn't want to show those pictures of the surgeries too closely because I don't want this video to get removed. Now that'll be pretty unfortunate. But there are some pictures over here of, looks like x-rays or pictures in really bad camera quality. But this is definitely really nice. And more biohazard bags and equipment. This is a cool place. There's a bunch of body parts here too. There's a bunch of hands and legs and bodies. It's pretty weird. You definitely don't see this every day in a hospital. Wow.
A hospital that closed its doors over a decade ago with the blood still on the walls, the needles still in the drawers, and pieces of what was left behind still sitting in the hallways, waiting for someone to walk in and find them. A group of explorers got into an abandoned hospital in Pennsylvania that had been shut down for several years, and the moment they stepped inside, they knew this place hadn't been cleaned out before it closed. They found an operating room with equipment still in place, stethoscopes worth hundreds of dollars left on counters, and blood splattered across the walls and on gloves that were still sitting where someone had taken them off.
They just left all this gear here.
I'm actually surprised they left that.
I am. Alright, what's up, fellas? So, we just got into this hospital, and it's absolutely incredible. It's, I think,
located in Pennsylvania. I don't want to give the exact location out, but I mean, this place is absolutely insane. I mean, these two fellas showed me where it was, so we're just going through it, and apparently there's a morgue in here. So if we can find it, we'll show it to you. So it's our best bet. We want to find this morgue, and once we find it, it's going to be incredible. So stay tuned, and if you enjoy this video, like and subscribe. You know. Yo.
And here's one of the rooms, right? Yeah, here's an operating room.
An operating room.
Something like that.
That's dope.
Here's that one, man. Yeah, right here.
You can see this equipment right here. This is insane. They just left it. That's hundreds of dollars. Look at all this blood. Holy crap.
Yeah, fake blood.
This is nuts, dude. Holy crap.
X-ray machines were still set up with the viewing screens intact. A prosthetic leg was just sitting in the middle of a hallway, and the temperature inside the building was colder than it was outside, which none of them could explain.
This is incredible. They've got an X-ray machine right here.
Sweet. I haven't been on this one yet. No, I haven't been this one yet.
They just left all this gear here.
I'm actually surprised they left that here.
I am too.
This is for X-rays?
Some of there's an X-ray thing over here.
Oh, right. That's pretty sick. There's some weird.
That's where they put the X-rays up on the screen right here. So I mean, this is pretty cool right there. Dude, this is so legit, guys.
It proved everything's just left where it was. They didn't clean it out very good when they shut it down.
No, they didn't, dude. There's stethoscopes just left there, and those are like $200 or $300.
Oh, a fake leg just chilling.
Look at that. They have a fake leg right here, just chilling.
They were told there was a morgue somewhere in the basement, so they started working their way down through the levels, and each floor they descended got darker, colder, and harder to navigate.
So I don't even need my flashlight.
Flashlight off. What do you find in here?
No, we still have to find.
Utility.
So many different rooms. And the fact that the hospital is a little sketch.
It is pretty sketchy because people here. So
Maybe that's the sketchy thing about.
tarps coming down right here. You can see.
Yo, stairwell.
Oh yes.
First a little falling apart, but not too bad. This place checked out only a few years ago, so it's still in pretty good condition.
Dude. So there's apparently a morgue down here. So we are gonna check this out and see how true our sources are.
This is where it gets sketchy, boys.
This place is more room. You have to go back to the left.
Oh, dude. I'll go first and I'll be on this one.
Yeah, this one.
Yep, this is it right here.
That's this one.
Dude, this place gives me the
Get a glimpse
creeps.
of that sign up there, dude.
They found surgery rooms with anesthesia equipment still hooked up, nitrous oxide and oxygen panels on the walls, and glass observation windows looking into the operating areas, but the morgue kept eluding them.
Oh, anesthesia there.
This is the surgery room.
Yeah.
This is where they have surgery. Another room in here. Not much left up here, but you can see some piping right there. And I mean, this is pretty incredible. A little wash area. And you guys have never been back here.
No, this is our first time coming this part of it.
Clean, dirty. I'm guessing this is emergency eye wash. So you got, I don't know what here. Let's check this out right here. Got nothing.
Someone walking through.
It's just dripping.
So the morgue's gotta be somewhere else then.
I think that way.
We'll check out that way.
What is this? Proposed plan?
Not much left in here. Just an old clock up there, as you can see. Here's another operating room right here, it looks like. I mean, glass windows. Pretty cool. And then you got this right here, so you're gonna suction. I don't even want to know. You got nitrous oxide and oxygen.
The lowest level was partially flooded with water several feet deep, blocking their path, and the smell down there was bad enough that all of them commented on it without being able to identify what was causing it.
So this is a little security closet or something like that, and there's just water literally right there. You can see up to like, I'm guessing that's, yeah, you can see that floating right there. That's probably at least 2 or 3 feet deep, so we're not going in there.
I thought that was the.
So we have a little map right here, but unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna want to show the morgue or where the morgue is, but we can kind of get a decent look at it, kind of. No.
What's OR stand for? Yeah, that's why it smells so bad.
Yeah, it stinks in here. Oh no! Somebody left a Merry Christmas present. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Use that?
Yep. And they just left it.
Oh, that stinks.
That rots. How many years has this thing been abandoned for?
6 or 7.
6 or 7 years, 8 years. I mean, gel instant hand sanitizer lasts forever, I guess. So, get that. Let's get the frick out
How
of
is
here.
this product?
No, dude.
Oh yeah, it was that.
You think
The,
so?
the memory card's full.
I thought it tripped on alarm.
I heard
Oh,
from behind
dude.
me. I was like,
So
yo.
this man's memory card went off, and we almost lost our heart attack, or had a heart attack because freaking, it sounded like a beep. We're like, we're screwed. We just set off an alarm, but no, it was just the memory card running out. Wow. All right.
I say we get out of here.
Yeah.
I haven't caught yet.
Then on the way out, one of their memory cards failed and made a loud beep that echoed through the empty hospital, and every single one of them thought they had just triggered an alarm. In 2023, 2 urban explorers ventured into the basement of an abandoned hospital in central Italy that had been sitting empty since a devastating earthquake destroyed the city in 2009. The hospital was originally built in the early 1900s on top of an 18th century monastery, and when the 6.3 magnitude quake hit, the walls cracked and crumbled while nearly 1,500 injured people were inside begging for medical attention. Over 300 people were lost across the region that day, and the hospital has been abandoned ever since. They made their way down into the basement, looking for the morgue, and what they found down there was unlike anything either of them had ever seen in any abandoned building.
So we just found the stairs in the abandoned hospital in Italy, making our way to find the morgue. It's down here in the basement. This is the basement here. You see the stairs right there. Let's see if we can find this morgue.
The morgue had 8 marble autopsy tables spread across multiple rooms, each one with its own stool, drainage system, and dim lights positioned in every corner that would have made this place deeply unsettling even when it was operational.
4 marble slabs. Definitely not something that you see every day there. There's lights in like every corner too, that's cool. It would have been kind of creepy back when it was in operation. Like low light. Look at those slabs. Each one has like a stool too. Never see any marble slabs like this
Then they walked into the last room of the morgue and found something on one of the steel autopsy tables that made both of them stop. Neither of them had ever come across anything like it in all their years of exploring abandoned buildings.
This place has a total of 8 slabs for the morgue. There's a marble headrest. It's actually not marble. That is made out of wood.
Sitting right there on the table were real bones, including what appeared to be part of a human skull, with more bones scattered around the tray beside it. They were told these were human remains, and looking at them, neither explorer had any reason to doubt that.
Got 2 body trays. Bunch of these tubes still have stuff in them. But I'm not touching it, and I can't read it anyway because it's all in Italian.
This morgue is amazing. Look at that apron over there hanging up. And then this slab over here is sick too.
Bottles of formaldehyde were still sitting on the shelves, autopsy aprons were still hanging on the walls, and cabinets were filled with supplies that had been left untouched for over a decade.
Then you got the drainage over here. And some cabinetries here. Glass, this one's glass. Looks like it's some ethanol alcohol. You got some more over here. Products and stuff. Probably for autopsy. Most likely. It's pretty obvious. Disinfectant. Formaldehyde, there we go.
A hospital that was supposed to save lives during a disaster, but couldn't even save itself. Left abandoned with formaldehyde on the shelves, autopsy tables still in place, and human bones sitting out in the open like whoever was last down there never finished what they started. In 2022, 2 explorers drove almost clear across Missouri after finding out about an abandoned hospital that had been left behind when a newer facility was built. They pulled on the front door expecting it to be locked, and when it swung wide open, both of them couldn't believe it was that easy to walk into a place like this.
Okay guys, sorry for that quick cut, but we're gonna go back out here real quick. I have some awful news. For some reason, my SD card just completely quit on me and said SD card error when I thought I was recording the whole time when we were walking up to it. But as you can just see,
we had our chance to come up here and we jokingly tried the first door again, and this has happened twice in a row now, and
I wish you could have seen like our candid reaction, but like we pulled this door open and just started laughing because it was so crazy how it just was that easy. So the first thing I noticed was all these like biological hazard bags sitting right by the door.
ew.
Oh yeah, and it's stinky, her favorite word. Look how creepy this is. Hold on, shine it down the hall.
Oh, there we go.
Look at this.
It's so big. And there's like what, 2 stories on this?
2 or 3 at least. There might be a portion, I think it's kind of built on a hill, so there are places where it could be like 4 or so, but...
So this is a cardiopulmonary.
Biohazard bags were piled by the entrance. The smell hit them immediately, and the hallways were pitch black in every direction. The place was massive with multiple floors, including wings for surgery, radiology, a pharmacy, a chapel, a mental health unit, and a cafeteria still set up with furniture.
Laboratory? What's all this on the wall?
Dang, horsefly. Dude, these
They're
things,
everywhere.
Dude, these things bite like an
Where are they coming from? There might be some in here.
Oh God.
I don't know where they're coming from though. They're all over.
Touching them.
Oh look, there's a cafeteria and a dining room in here.
Ooh.
And a rehabilitation center and a mental health unit. They had everything here.
My brothers, I'm gonna dip. Thanks for watching me make bell peppers. Be so good. Or don't. I'm not your dad. It has 2 crimes. Bye.